pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey, Mike. 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 Hey, Mike. Do you mind passing me an iPad? Oh. Two, actually. Don't mind.
All right, changes to the agenda. Are there any changes from council? Y'all good? All right. No presentations. Public comments, non-agenda items. Persons wishing to address the town council on a matter not listed on the agenda may speak at this time. Speakers must provide their name and address, observe the 3-minute time limit, speak only after being recognized by the mayor. Ms. Lowe.
Good evening. Hi, my name's Kitty Lowe, 411 3rd Avenue. As the town code enforcement continues to assess the permitted use of the backyard gym at Indy Yard, we have been instructed to submit evidence of the violations that annoy, disturb the residents. For the next 2 or so minutes, I'd like to share what we have been dealing with on a daily basis since October. This clearly violates the requirements of a low-impact professional business in a residential professional zone. This evidence, along with evidence of numerous parking violations, will also be emailed to the town and code enforcement office.
One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead, swing, you ready?
Something. We're gonna make a little music ourselves. We're gonna do our get rid of negative energy breath. Ready? Grab it and throw it. Inhale, reach and get it out of here. Good. 4, 3, 2, and
Go my chest. 1, 2.
drop one way down. Next, we're going to be going into a squat. Pressing your way out, bringing your way in. And go. Squat, press out.
Yeah, you can even do a push-up. We go to push-up, and then you go to child's pose. You can do those. Backward lunge. Yeah. We in it this morning. Push. Good push. Yeah. Y'all got your 30s? Keep working. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 8, 6, 4, 2, 1.
All right, now to me, that's very disturbing in somebody's backyard. I know it has to be disturbing for you guys to hear that, because if that was in your backyard not 24/7, but if it was in your backyard, you wouldn't, it's objectionable and everything, and it shouldn't be in anybody's backyard. For 25 years, we've been in that backyard. In that backyard, we have had no problems, and the only person that I've ever called on is my neighbor that was selling meth, and he got busted. So that's all.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Where'd you record that from? Where were you physically located when you recorded that?
Some of that, those are multiple different ones in my yard and Sherry's yard.
Okay, so in the backyard.
In the backyard, yes.
Thank you.
That's where people hang. Backyard. I don't have a pool in my front yard yet.
All right, thank you. Anything? Okay. Any other non-agenda items? Nope, okay. Public announcements. There are openings on the following boards and committees: Budget and Finance, Civil Service, and Code Enforcement. Consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, pulling items 6 and 8.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda minus items 6 and 8, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
I was actually going to pull some just for discussion.
Oh, okay.
5 as well.
Sorry. All right, so all those in favor of approving the consent agenda except for 5, 6, and 8, is that right? Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we'll start with 5.
I was just curious. I think it's great that we're replacing that because my daughter plays on that fire truck. I'm forced to climb on it all the time. And I don't mean to put you on the spot. I should have hit you up ahead of time, Joe. I just, was it within like the past 5 years that we replaced it previously, or how long has that one been there?
It was about 3 years ago.
Yeah,
We did a refurbish on it, but we didn't
Oh,
replace
the
it.
refurbs. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's the OG.
Yeah, we just refurbished it, that's
Okay.
it.
I was gonna say, I remember there was something going on with it.
My son, who's 20, played on it when it was first
Same
installed.
one? Okay.
Yes.
We were able to find a different vendor
Yeah.
for a lot better, much better pricing than
Yeah.
the 29,000.
The funny part is I was thinking when I was playing on it recently, I'm like, man, it would be nice to, replace this. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I know it's some ridiculous cost just for what looks like a simple piece of equipment that you can build yourself. So, yeah, I'm happy that we're going with something that's 10,000 as opposed to 30,000 for the same effect. So thank you.
And we approved that, Budget and Finance
Right.
Committee. It was on the budget.
And also, we've had a donation to honor Dr. Wiggy, who passed away, and then the Gold Bar been running, and we got $3,500 towards, I'm gonna have a little plaque up there in her honor too, so.
Nice.
She's a pediatrician that people know locally in town, and
Yeah.
she struggled with cancer for 20 years.
Which is going to come first, the real fire truck or the?
It's a race.
So between the donation and you said that 30,000 was approved, we're coming out
We
quite ahead.
We approved 15,000.
Oh, 15? Well, we're still coming out quite ahead either way.
Yeah.
About 8,500, I guess.
Yeah,
Great.
it turned into 30,000. Every time we got a quote, it turned into.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it.
About referring to the Woody, Mrs. Woody, my son remains with her son.
Oh, okay.
And I just was wondering, what were they doing for her? I didn't hear.
Oh, the fire truck at the playground in Orlando Park. Yeah.
They're gonna put a plaque up. Yeah.
All right. Brett, you good?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. All those in favor of approving item 5 on the consent agenda, say aye.
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 All opposed? All right. 6, John. It was you, right? No. Oh, it was you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
I just want, Mike and I went through some of the details here, and I just wanted to elicit it for the council just to make sure everybody's aware. This is actually a good news story. So we've got, well, in the end, it's a good news story. Obviously, we have 95K repair for collapsed stormwater on North Ramona. We have a budget of 675K for the year. To date, we've spent 195. We will have a balance of 195K remaining after this expenditure. So, we budget for these kind of things, these kind of emergencies. But I just wanted to highlight for the council. If anybody had any questions, that while it is an emergency, it is within the budget scope, even though it's a large number.
Discussion? Anybody? All right. All those in favor of approving item number 6 on the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed. And we're looking at number 8 now.
Yeah, same story, really. I want to actually give kudos to Mike and Joe on this. So we're bringing in a number of paving projects that'll include Shannon and Palm and Orlando and 4th Ave as well. And we're actually ahead of schedule for the capital improvement plan that we laid out last year. And we'll actually, and this is including the recent paving of South Riverside. So even after approving the bids for $340K that we have in front of us tonight, we'll still have a balance of another $100,000 for repaving or other activities that we can do out of plan ahead of schedule. So I think that's a good news story for the town, and I just give Mike and Joe and the administration a job.
Good job. Comments? All right, all those in favor of approving item number 8 on the consent agenda, say aye.
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 All opposed. All right. Ordinance in public hearing, ordinance 2024-02, first reading public hearing relating to deferred retirement option plan. This is where Paul would read it. Do you want to read it?
No problem. An ordinance of the town of Indialantic, Brevard County, Florida, amending Chapter 2, Article 4, Division 4, Pension Plan for Police Officers and Firefighters, amending Section 2-320, Deferred Retirement Option Plan, drop, to increase the participation period and add an optional benefit, actuarially calculated drop, providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to adopt the ordinance 2024-02.
All right, is there a second?
Second it.
Yeah.
All right, discussion. Doug, you got anything?
No, Mike educated me on what the drop program is, and I think it's a benefit to the town in helping us retain staff or experienced staff for longer, so.
Basically, this is brought forward. Many years ago when I was on a police fire pension, we started the drop program. It allows police to stay employed, so you're not having to hire people and you can keep that experience. And it was a 5-year average back then. It's increased to 8 years now, so that's why we're increasing, hasn't increased to 8. There's no cost to the town. Basically, the employee on the regular drop, they say, I'm gonna retire, they can say 8 years and they have to leave, and they take that money that would be going into their pension with them, with whatever the fund is made in investments equaling. And it's worked out pretty good for us as an employer and as for the employees. And there's something very new that I was aware of called the backdrop, not the forward drop. I guess my memo had it backwards. I get confused whatever the drop is. That allows the person at the end to decide, hey, they want to go back and drop from this point on, and they'll get a lump sum of money. Look at 3%, not based upon that, but during that whole time they were continuing to contribute 5% of their salary into it.
This is just the forward drop, or the regular deferred drop.
It's a no cost. I mean, council member Boyd, she was on the council, or the
Budget.
board approved it, and I know Captain Burnett, who's the chairman, he was part of the one bringing it forward to me. We were working several months on this.
Brett, you got any comments?
This is something that, is it like helps us attract or retain various personnel, considering, like, for instance, the police officers. Like, I know our salaries are not as high as other towns, and so we have a difficulty, like, keeping full quality staff sometimes. This is certain benefits that help
Yeah, it helps in
with
there.
those, other things we can offer.
Other people have gone to this now too.
Right.
So it's helping us keep up with that. Where if somebody drop, it's an attractive somebody that's gonna stay time and wants to retire and drop. For example, if I hadn't taken this position, I would have been in a drop from my previous position, and I would have had to go out in September this year rather than normal drop. I got to stay an extra 5 years, and I'd walk away with that money. So it enables that, and it's attractive. I know as you get closer, I think Todd can tell you from Burnett from the fire department that their guys over there look at it. And sometimes young guys is money looking ahead.
Right. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's a further, like, attractive benefit to, help
Yes.
and attract quality talent.
So this is the same thing FRS is doing, correct? FRS just went to 8 years as well.
Exactly what FRS is, except for that, I don't think they have that backward drop now.
Okay. And then if somebody's already in the drop, can they extend it? Like, if they're in drop now, can they go to 8 years, or?
They can go to anybody that's
Okay.
in there is eligible to
I
go
didn't
8. And this will allow us to go back, because we started this so earlier, that anybody who was eligible October 1st of last year going forward, because we had a couple people that were in that point where we're working on this ordinance, it allows them to stay and go into the back drop if they want to.
Yep. I was just going to mirror what Mike said, and the pension, we worked on it about three to 6 months on it. We had Foster & Foster do a study to see what the impact would be to the town. It would cost the town nothing to do, and it is something that's attractive to for retention and to attract new hires so they can retire earlier and start receiving their drop money. And the board voted unanimously to bring this to council. That was one of the last things I did before I had to leave.
Todd, you guys are in support of this, obviously? Okay. And police? Okay. Public comment? All right. It was easy. All in favor of approving ordinance 2024, first reading, public hearing related to the deferred retirement option plan, say aye.
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 All opposed? All right. Oh, it should be 2025, right? Ordinance 2025?
It's actually 2025-03 in the actual packet,
Molly, 2025-03.
in the packet. Yeah.
All right. Unfinished business. New business, discuss the continuation of the town's contract with Weiss Serota, or Serota, I don't know which one it is. Helfman Cole Bierman for the legal counsel. Is there a motion on this?
I'll make a motion for the town to continue with the existing contract with Weiss Serota, Helfman Cole Bierman Law Firm for the town's legal services.
I'd like to shorten that name. Who do I,
Is
do
there
I
a
talk to?
shorthand associated with it?
Yeah,
I believe it goes by Weiss Serota.
Weiss.
You want to
okay,
I'll second.
all right. Mike, you have comments on this? I mean, it was in the memo, but you guys are in support of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's staff and stuff working with Kristen as our acting town attorney right now, we've been very happy and back and forth and things. And with her being more, it's a distance she has to travel, we understand that. But for the meetings, most meetings, zoning and planning and Board of Adjustments, she can attend those by virtually. We've worked out the situations and everything else. And we have a much better system now, and everybody's more technologically able to do these meetings. So that'll help down on travel time and things. And we dealt with Paul for many years doing that. We travel back and forth to South Florida.
Okay.
And like I said, the advantage is the whole law firm, not just her. She's great. And even like the police department just uses their firm for, as I mentioned in my memo, for, getting risk protection orders on the police side. We can use them for, if we go for forfeiture for vehicle, for crime and things like that.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't see a problem with it. I've been impressed with Kristen a few times that we've met. My only concern that we talked about would possibly be, do we lose any tribal knowledge without having somebody local? But I think it's certainly worth trying, continuing to. Right, Doug?
Yeah, I support the continuation. Just looking at the agreement, current contract extends through September 30th, 2026, with an option to extend further for another 2 years. I think we've been well served by the firm, and I'm happy to continue.
Brett?
Yep. Frankly, Weiss Serota is one of the best, if not the best, local government municipal law firms in the state. So, the quality of their services are top notch. In limited time working with Kristen, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought you did great on the fly. The meeting the other month, it was a tough one. And frankly, as far as like local options, there's not many. And Paul, that's what I'm saying. Paul was truly a legend in the area for just in law, but particularly municipal law. Okay. So yeah, I fully support.
Yeah. Well, like Kristen was saying, and when we were just chatting in the back room, Paul was, he was an enigma. He was kind of one-stop shop, where that just doesn't really exist anymore.
Right.
Or certainly nobody under the age of 78. Right?
Pre-internet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
started,
being a Gen X, she can use the internet. So. I think Gen X. I don't know how old you are, but
That's okay.
anyway.
I take that as a compliment.
John.
Brett's much more eloquent than I am, so what he said.
Gary.
I'm quite pleased, so yes, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right. Public comment. All right. All those in favor of continuing the contract with Weiss Serota, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Passes unanimous. All right. Item number 2, discuss updating town code section 113-233, private driveways in the residence district. Joe, you brought this to us, correct?
Yes, sir, I did. I think we need to get a more uniformed paver driveway. Moving concrete to put pavers in, it should all be uniformed with a ribbon curb if there's no Miami curbing up against the pavers, due to the fact that when they go to fill, they won't damage a paver that may be obsolete or you can't get anymore. So now we got to replace more than just a few pavers that we hit or the contractor may have hit.
What does the code say now?
There's,
Is there anything?
Yeah,
That's fine.
doesn't say anything about
Specific.
the curbing. There's nothing
Yeah.
in our code mentioned about the curbing.
Okay.
It's very
Silent, yeah.
generic.
Yeah.
and there are times where some contractors will do a ribbon curb, which is great, and there's times that they don't.
And this will require
And
that.
this will require them to do that. Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there a,
I was just going to say, if you'd like me to read the contents, it's short.
yeah,
13 to 33. Private driveway at least 8 feet wide, graded and surface shall be provided for each garage or carport within a residence district, extending from such garage or carport to the paved portion of the street used by motor vehicles. The requirement that the driveway shall be paved to the portion of the street used by motor vehicles shall only be applicable to newly constructed driveways or driveways paved or reconstructed after April 19, 2011.
is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to, I guess this would be to have the town staff work on making an update to the ordinance, section 113, 233 regarding private driveways and residences to specify the need for a ribbon curb.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any comments, Doug?
I mean, I think it's a good idea. I know Mr. Chanda, who was here last week for different purposes, we had this exact experience where we repaved and they had issues with the pavers and trying to get them match and this, that, and the other, and just remove some headache. I mean, obviously, it'll percolate through the system over the years. It's not going to resolve existing issues, but hopefully it mitigates some headaches going forward.
Brett?
Nope, I'm in support.
John? Carrie? Public comment? Yeah. With name and address.
Sherry Ledoux, 419 3rd Avenue. Is
he served as a, like, code enforcement attorney and zoning and planning.
I am completely in favor of it. My only suggestion possibly would be, do we want to make it more visible and have it like the Paul R. Gugelman Municipal Complex with the name outside? You know, instead of the 4 people that come every month.
Some months we get more people, we're more popular.
Right, okay. So we'll talk about pickleball
I'd say propose more pickleball courts.
and have 50 people show up.
There's plenty of topics I can speak from experience that will.
So,
Sunset.
That would be acceptable, too. I'm just, want to honor him, Paul, in some way.
right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Doug, you got comments?
I'm, completely in favor of whatever thinks appropriate. In all honesty, I don't have a strong opinion in terms of the suggestion with regards to the complex versus the council chambers.
The room.
Council chambers room. Easy for me to say. So I'm acceptable with either.
Or we could just name the town hall building and put a plaque out there like the next where it's being built, the town hall itself, and that way if we ever want to name another building after, like when Joe, something happens to Joe, naming the public works after him.
I mean, there's.
But I mean, that's fine, whatever y'all want to do. But that's, we could put a plaque out there on the wall of this room next to the dedication one and things.
Brett?
I think it's a great idea. It's the least we can do. I like the idea of making it, more visible. So whatever means or method accomplishes that. Yeah, so I don't know, town hall, like you said, would it be outside, like in the?
Right on the intro,
there?
Yeah, we put it outside there by the bulletin board, I get like a bronze plaque like it's out there and everything.
Okay, and it would be like the Paul R. Gugelman Town Hall or?
Oh, whatever you want to name it.
Or,
Can we put it on like the fascia? I forget exactly what it looks like, but on the arch coming in?
We could do that. If some type of, we could figure some signage out with that.
I don't think, that doesn't have to be in the ordinance though, right, in terms of the actual style of it. We could make a determination on that in addition to after the ordinance is passed. I'm asking.
We could, if you want to do something like that, we can arrange something like that out there, and town hall, or Paul R. Gugelman Town hall or town complex, and then actually put another little thing out there with his dedication with the years of service and things.
Right. Right. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I like that.
John?
Yeah, I'm good with it too. The visibility's nice.
So is it just a town hall or is it a town complex?
Town hall just sounds more like traditional.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Complexes.
We're Indialantic. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not complex.
Oh, but we are. Oh, but we
Town
are.
hall.
Town, okay. That way we can prepare a new ordinance.
We don't want to get too big for our britches.
In public comments coming. Carrie?
I like the idea of anything that we can do to honor his memory in the best possible way, I think is a great idea.
So,
All right, so what do you need? Do you need a motion from us?
yeah, just a motion for us to work on the ordinance, and I'll get with Joe and we'll work on the, showing a mock-up of what the sign would look like out there and a plaque and stuff.
Okay, so is there a motion from the council?
I move to instruct staff to move forward with proposing plans for naming it the Paul R. Googleman Town Hall with like a dedication plaque and such.
Is there a second?
I second it.
All right, public comments. Ms. Lowe. You gotta name and address every time.
Kitty,
Yeah.
411 Third Avenue. Okay.
It's just legal proceedings. We know who you are, but you have to.
Yeah, I know you. What about just the room instead of like, you want the whole building? It's the whole building?
Yeah, Mike was suggesting the room. We're suggesting the building because people will see it driving by or just pulling up where
Oh, okay.
people don't come into this room except for these meetings, you know? So we just want to honor him a little bit more
Well, of
visible,
course, yeah,
you
you
know?
should. He's been here for a very long time.
Yeah,
He's
since
here
88.
forever. So, yeah, no, I was just, it sounded like you didn't know if you want to go inside or outside. And at Indialantic Town Hall, everybody knows where Indialantic Town Hall is, but I guess if you want to Google it.
Well, it would still be Indialantic Town Hall, like the Paul R. Googleman Indialantic Town
Yeah,
Hall or something
yeah,
like that.
that's good. Okay, sorry.
Colloquially, yeah, people would be like Indialand Town Hall, but
Right.
it's like, or it could be, I'm trying to think.
You can work on the naming.
Florida, it's like Steve Spurrier Field at the Ben Hill Griffin Stadium.
Oh.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like,
We're not selling naming rights here.
It's like, yeah, Bobby Bowden Field, yeah, Joe
We'll get
Campbell, yeah.
seating license
We can do some
later. We'll get
some
that.
signage like above the fire department out there and stuff.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Any other public comment? All right. All those in favor of instructing town staff to develop an ordinance to change the name of the town hall to the Paul R. Googleman Indialantic Town Hall, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. All right. Mike, you have anything to report?
Just give you a heads up on the median. They started planning last night, it looks like. So they plan to be out of here by the end of March with everything being done. As you see, the palm trees all got trimmed up and everything, and we took care of the dead ones. So that should be being a nice progress moving forward.
When are we doing the lights?
There's on the lights, so it was an after project we have to do.
Oh,
outside
I forgot.
DOT.
We got to do that anyway.
But the problem, one thing we just ran into, didn't know this, even though they said they'd run the wiring for us, they didn't go from island to island. They went under the sidewalks only. So we had to find out what the cost of boring from island to island is to move from the electrical wires.
Never easy.
Is there, I'm just thinking out loud, probably not your decision or Joe's decision, but can't we just score a 4-inch line in the pavement and bury it and caulk it?
I don't think FDOT will allow us to do that.
What they don't know. It is on the record.
We'll talk offline.
Right.
It can't be difficult.
What they don't know, we won't do.
But yeah, we're still looking into options for that, yeah.
Okay. Kristen, do
That's
you have?
what, we were gonna replace trees out there even, but the whole problem is getting mixed in with this permitting and stuff. We decided with the engineer and everything, they said, yeah, just don't want to get anything after DOT out of line and stuff. We do that down the road, the 2 trees we pulled out.
Yeah. Kristen, do you have anything to report?
Nothing at this time.
All right. Doug?
Nothing to report, just have a safe spring break for those that are on spring break next week.
Mm-hmm. Brett?
Yes. So I guess I need to get with Kristen on it. just about, updates to the town code and various issues. I've been, trying to tackle it on my own for a while, but as an unpaid position, I just do not have the time, like I hoped I did, especially since we had a surprise second daughter that we weren't planning on having when I started this position. No complaints there. But yeah, there's various, I think, like pressing issues right now that we need to discuss, not at this meeting, but, future meetings coming up. In the code, there's a lot of confusion about special events. Various language that kind of contradicts whether you get a special event permit for only in town parks or, private areas, things of that nature. The landscaping ordinance, or code provision, there's a few brought up before that we want to address there. The amplified sound and the noise ordinance be touched up. I know for future, trying to prevent other instances in the future, such as you're dealing with right now, cleaning up the professional district, some of the language that's in there. Particularly about, outdoor activity. So, yeah, I need to, I'm gonna have to get with Kristen to, my biggest problem is like because of sunshine, like trying to figure out how to efficiently like address this with you all, because I can't just email you all, like, which ones go after first, so it bogs the process down. But I think some of those that I mentioned are probably pressing ones that we should try to knock out first.
We have a special topic meeting, like a workshop.
I would hate to do
That's
that,
permitted.
but.
I understand,
Yeah,
but you
it's not a
could
bad idea.
advertise a workshop for, just to.
Really
Just
yeah.
categorize, bin,
Yeah.
identify.
No, that's a good idea, because I could honestly just get the whole list of like issues that have come up over the year, because it has been like a running tally. So that aspect of it has been helpful, I could have a full list of what staff has mentioned to me and other, folks in town, issues that we've had come along. And, I can imagine it'd be like a half an hour meeting at most, just for the specific purpose of being like, okay, what are the priorities, and let's order those.
Do we
Remember,
want,
Lauren had this issue too. Remember, he posed it towards the end of his time, like how to prioritize issues.
do we want to set up a special meeting?
I mean, if you all don't mind, I guess this would probably be the most efficient way to do it. It's a forcing function.
Right.
Did you want to try and do it in advance of a regular council session?
Yeah. Oh, you mean like on the same day, or meaning
Yes.
you can attend by?
Some of the agencies, I
Right.
work with, they work, they meet for their regular meeting an hour later or so.
One is April 9th, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a matter of whether folks are available earlier than 6 p.m.
Yeah, I don't have any conflicts if anybody.
Yeah, I'm good. Staff, you guys good? Early on the 9th?
Oh.
Yep.
It'd probably just be at 5, I would imagine.
Yeah.
We might have a break.
You can bring wings and.
Yep.
Brilliant. I'm good.
You guys are good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I greatly appreciate that suggestion.
Let's see.
We can just agree to do that. We don't necessarily need a motion special, do we?
Do we need a motion or anything like that for that?
I think I have no idea, but.
We can just set it up, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you can just set it
And
up.
we'll post it on the,
But we'll notice it appropriately.
yeah.
Makes sense. That's all I have.
John?
Nothing to report.
Carrie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have two little things. I wanted to kind of put in a post note. I rerouted my dog walking routes, and 4 out of 7 days I'm walking around Orlando Park at different times of the day. And I've checked with the police, and there have been 0 complaints about noise. There have been only 2 times I saw middle-aged women playing pickleball. They weren't making a lot of noise. It was a very pleasant day. I could still hear the birds. It was still very nice. So I just kind of wanted to let the town's residents know I'm watching, I'm keeping an eye on things, and that leads me into the next thing that I want to talk about is, I know at some town council voted to have any ergo donations needed to be approved by town council. And in lieu of a lot of the residents wanting to donate money towards a Nance Park proper pickleball court, and I know there's some big donors in this town that prefer to remain anonymous. So I just wanted to get a feel of my colleagues here to see what you would think about reversing that. If donations could come in anonymously that wouldn't be subject to public records.
What's the current, I recall us doing the ordinance, I just don't remember the particulars about the donation.
Well, I can tell you why.
Donation specifics.
I know why, if you want to know. I know why, and it was because of the flock camera system.
No, I know the why there. I mean, in terms of what the language says now, in terms of when we changed the ordinance, it was more in terms of reporting how the donation was being used, not who it was coming from. If that was, at least that's my.
I don't remember. I'm with you. I remember doing it, but I don't remember the language.
If it's interpreted the other way, then that was not the intention. I'm open to continue if donors want to be anonymous. But I don't recall the discussion. We have to go back and look.
I think something along, and I have to read it again.
So I'm open to discussion for sure.
About technology and things and donations and stuff. But what we can do is we can put on the agenda for next month. And tomorrow we can send it out what the current policy is.
Yeah.
Right.
And then have it on there.
Right, and I'm willing to take that and take that. I just wanted to get a feel of the room to see if you were open to it, because I think some of our bigger donors have kind of taken a step back. I've talked to one of them personally, and and the reason is sound, because if it becomes public that someone has donated a significant amount of money, then they get asked for more money for different things.
Oh, yeah.
So I think if we as a town can protect our big donors, and all our donors, I mean, we appreciate any money that comes into this town.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
Cool.
And put it on the agenda for next month.
And I will, of course, just need to double check on the ramifications with the Sunshine Law and what, prohibitions may be in place that we would need to contemplate.
In terms of donors?
Yes, maintaining an anonymous donation. We, of course, have to, make sure we're in compliance there.
Correct. That's what I was wondering, if there was
Okay.
a legal issue. It's like you can't, I guess for due process reasons, you can't submit a code enforcement complaint without, identifying yourself, so I didn't know if there'd be any, worry about conflict, type anonymous donations.
Yeah, a lot of these times, these donations, some come from private individuals, but they come from corporations that they own or other subsidiaries. And we've always kept public record of when the check comes in and things, but since the policy change, we have to by counsel of it. And that's where it wasn't, before I've been dealing with this, when I first took over, I had some people coming up donations, and they didn't want to put out there publicly, and so we don't advertise that. Usually if they don't want it publicly, I don't put it in my Friday memo or anything, or, type of situation.
Yeah, if we're legally allowed to do it, I fully support it, because it makes complete sense that some people would be hesitant to donate if, their name's out there.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Meeting adjourned. There you go, Ferry.
Drive safe.
Hey, just look at the first line. This one I forgot to, I got to.
That is a massive watch piece. That's so cool.
Oh, but I forgot to reset it still later.
That's really
So, yeah, exactly. The milk.
Ah, nice.
But the other watch I wear is a satellite one, so it resets by satellite time.
Yeah.
No problem. Did you, thank you for cleaning up, man. Yeah, my son, my kid's going to too. It's the one that has a pretty doctor checking me out. I didn't have a pretty doctor checking me out, yeah.
Exactly.
Air emergency you're doing, because Tom's coming home.